What up, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. You already know what time it is. Today is Monday, man. I freaking love Monday. Monday's the day where the team comes back in. We get an opportunity to get everyone back together, and we do our morning huddles, and I'm just excited, man. Monday's the day where we freaking make some money today. So, guys, if it's the first time you're tuning in, this is Morning Momentum. My name is Matt Beard. We're real estate investors here in Phoenix, but we buy properties nationwide. You guys already know what time it is. That's what we do. That's our core business. On top of that, in order to do these lives and the things that we want to do in our businesses, the day-to-day stuff, we can't always be in our wholesale business. We can't always be in, the fix and flip stuff. We have to have leverage, and we found leverage, and you will too when you have people fighting for your cause. We do that with virtual assistants, and that's why you guys see in the bottom of your screen, vahub.com. This is where we help other businesses like ours. Doesn't matter if you're in real estate. We have insurance clients. We have people from all different sorts of industries that leverage virtual assistants as well, so they can focus on the most important task in their business. And that's what we're talking about. We talked about it all last week. We had 7 action items. Today is day number 8. So I promise you guys, the first week was just pre-launch, getting stuff ready for your VA. Now we're going to be talking about practical things to get your VA up and running, getting them freaking badass. Now, a lot of these things, if you are a VA Hub client, we've already touched base with them during their training, during their coaching. They know a lot of these things, but it just hits different when you, the business owner, reaches out to them and just reinforces some of these things. Like, you guys know, like, how many times does it take to be, for something to be communicated, for it to sink in? It takes a lot. So repetition's everything, just like it is for them on the calls, just like it is for them to prospect and talk to people to get comfortable. Same thing for your business. You have to reiterate and push these things down. You have to talk about it to get them to the point where you're like, yo, I get it. Okay, perfect. I got it now. Right. So today we're going to be talking about something. I got to give you context before I can give you content. And the same thing for your VAs. Okay. You have to give them context before you start harping on cold call script, before you start harping on, like, say this, say this, say this, say this, say this, say this, say that. You got to give them context. And we do the context by, hey, let me tell you how our business makes money. Okay. Let me show you why this is a good lead and why this isn't a good lead. Okay. This is your first step. The first thing you should always go over with your virtual assistants. Once they understand you, your business, right? Typically, guys, I've talked about this in the past. We have things that our VAs look at before they get started, so they know who I am, who the company is, the company name, blah, 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 blah. But as I get them ready to call, my first step for them to really understand what's important. Like, I don't want a bunch of leads that are just crap and just takes me down a rabbit hole and waste our time. I'm sure you guys feel the same way. I think it's important for them to understand what is a good lead, right? And when I'm explaining what a good lead is, I give them context. So today, I'm just going to do a brief rundown. You guys may already have this. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you probably do. But if you do not, the 4 pillars of a good lead, right? This is the base level. This is where I get started when I go to train all of our new VAs. When I talk about how our business makes money, we go over the 4 pillars. If you don't have the 4 pillars, please feel free to reach out to me via email, mattbeard@vahub.com. I'll give you a copy of this here PDF. It's important, okay? These are the things that I want our VAs, just very, very, very simple. These are the things I want you to gather on your call, okay? Number 1, our main pillar in all 4 is the motivation to sell, right? We need to know their motivation. Number 2, we need to know a definite timeline. Number 3, we need to see if they have a reasonable asking price. And number 4, we'll get that property condition. Now, what you guys will learn is the main thing we really care about is motivation, because if the motivation's there, I can get the property condition later, right? In the acquisition, if the motivation's there, I can really paint a picture and get the timeline. If the motivation's there, I can typically get the property at a price that we need to get it for, okay? But the main pillar is the motivation. But as I'm training new VAs to understand what we're looking for, I go over and give them an idea of, this is why this is a good lead. This is how our business makes money. Number 1, we make money with something called wholesaling. And I explain the whole thing, and I would recommend you guys do the same thing. So our company, right, the one that you work for, Mr. or Mrs. VA, we make money by finding discount properties. We can't buy properties at retail typically, right? So what our number one easiest transaction is a wholesale. There's a lot of equity in play. Seller owns a house that's worth $100,000 and they own it free and clear, and they want to sell it for $40,000, right? It's a good chance that's an opportunity. But we make money by buying properties at a steep discount and sourcing them for other real estate investors, for other people who want to do the fix and flip, right? We'll negotiate with the homeowner, we'll get a price, and then we'll sell it to someone else. We make the difference of what's in between. So I'll explain all that stuff to our VAs so they understand, dude, this guy is this worth 100,000 and he's wanting 85 for it. Do you think that's a deal for us? Right? Still, I mean, if there's motivation, I know I'm going to be able to get it steeper. But if they're like, nope, 85,000, this is what I want. If you're not going to pay me 85,000, it's not even worth my time, blah, 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 blah. Probably that they don't have enough motivation there. Okay. And we can maybe try to solve their problems in another way. We train our VAs, and you'll see in the script where we say, okay, well, to be honest with you, I'm not sure if we're the right fit with a cash offer, but we do acquire properties in two different ways. If the cash offer doesn't work, would you be open to, maybe we can end up paying your price, would you be open to terms? Right? And we'll get their response. What is terms? Sure, I'd be open to it. Whatever that response is, say, okay, great. Well, one of our property specialists will reach out to you and they'll explain a little bit more what that may look like. Right? Well, we see what would be the best disposition. And I train our VAs from the very beginning to weed out the people who just aren't motivated, weed out the people that we can't make money on. Right? If the property's worth 100 and they're asking 100 and they won't take terms, and they know that this isn't a good lead for the company. Again, do we miss some opportunities from time to time? Maybe. But by doing this, we're able to focus our time and energy on the smaller amount of people that need our help. Okay. So we train our VAs from the very beginning to get these 4 pillars and understand one of the greatest ways that our company makes money is buying properties at a steep discount. So the motivation has to be there, right? Even if they don't have a clear asking price, there has to be motivation. Okay. So they understand that. Second way I explain to them is we do creative finance subject to, right? Maybe we can pay the retail if they would be willing to accept terms, right? And we give them the questions to ask. But ultimately, I'm trying to give them context. I'm trying to show them this is how our business functions, right? And in the Philippines and other countries, they have their own things. They do similar things, but not with houses, right? They have what's called resellers in the Philippines. And resellers basically do that, right? They'll see someone who wants to sell something and post it online or whatever. They'll take it and they'll post it online and they'll add their little fee on there. Like, so if someone wants to sell a bike, if someone wants to sell a moped, if someone wants to sell, plants or whatever they want to sell as a commodity, there are resellers in the Philippines. So this is one of the easiest ways to explain it to your VAs, is saying wholesaling is like being a reseller, right? We're going directly to homeowners. We're getting agreements, right? And then we're sourcing that to our buyers, right? People who want to actually be the end consumer, people who want to fix and flip, right? And it's similar to you, Mr. VA. Like in the Philippines, they have resellers. Are you familiar with that? And they're like, oh yeah, no, I know exactly what that is. Perfect. That's basically what it is, right? The more you can be like, it's kind of like, or it's basically like, the better your VA is going to get it. Okay. You don't have to get super technical. That's why I hate explaining subject to, right? That's why I hate explaining creative finance. I try to be more like, it's kind of like this, or it's kind of like that. And when I'm trying to explain creative finance, I'm always like, it's kind of like you bought a car and you don't want to make the payments anymore, right? Or maybe you God forbid you lost a job, but you need to sell that car. You want to give it to somebody who can take over those payments, right? So I give them examples, but ultimately I want them to get the idea of how the business operates. So your day one, this is day 8, but really the first day of getting your VA ready and acclimated, it's important they understand the inner workings of your business. Because if you want quality leads, okay, we coach this, we train this at VA Hub. But as far as like reiteration and getting the most out of your virtual assistant, I would attach less priority on the number of leads, more priority on the quality of leads, right? And what you'll see is as you implement these things and you give them the big picture and you give them the context, your quality of your leads are going to go up, 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 up. Okay. And it's going to be exactly what you're looking for. But at the end of the day, like, you have to give them this context, because otherwise they're like, even a lot of new business owners, they're like, well, what's a good lead? Like, how do I know if something is a good lead? It passes these 4 pillars and it's something that you can make money on. Okay. Not every lead is a good lead. Someone who's asking retail is not really that motivated. If they're not willing to list the property and you can get a referral, like, honestly, I don't even, like, if you're just getting started, I would not even take mental energy on that stuff. Your mental energy should be looking for wholesale deals. That's where your mental energy should be, right? And then once you get your business up and running, you're generating enough revenue, you're making, $50, $60, $70,000 a month. Then yeah, maybe you can go back and tap into, let me help my conversions out. But right now, if you're just getting started and you have 1 or 2 VAs, you need to focus on getting liquid revenue. Okay. So explain it, give them context on how your business makes money. And I promise your lead quality will go up, will go through the roof. So guys, implement these things, talk about the 4 pillars of a good lead. If you don't have, if you don't have that PDF, we'll be happy to provide it to you. Just send me an email, mattbeard@vahub.com. I'll send it over to you, or I'll have my systems manager, Mark, send you over a copy so you guys can have that as soon as possible. Let's freaking go, guys. It's Monday. Let's get to work. We actually have a couple new team members getting started with us today, so I'm super stoked about that. Some new stuff that we have to go over in our huddles this morning. So hopefully you got some good news to go over with your team as well. If you don't have a team, just keep that positivity and go take action to get some opportunities, guys. We're here to help. If you have sellers that need help closing, you can hop in on Nick's live this afternoon. Nick will close your sellers. If you want us to get a second opinion on any kind of deals, please send me an email, mattbeard@vahub.com. If you're like, Matt, I've been trying to talk to this person, but I'm not sure what I should do, send us an email. Or you can shoot me a DM, MatthewBeard_. That's on Instagram. But guys, I appreciate you coming and hanging out. If you haven't yet and you got some value from this video, please like it, please share it. And if you haven't yet, head over to YouTube. It's just Matthew Beard. Hit that subscribe button. I appreciate everyone who's already done that. And again, thank you for hanging out, guys. Let's freaking get to work, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.